Railroads change. We all know this, we've all seen it firsthand. Some things change over time, some things change overnight. I can't predict these changes, and even the best analysts haven't been able to either. All I know is that I have a camera, a scanner, and a minivan, and it's my goal to document all of these changes, big and small. I don't feel any kind of love or attachment to the letters CPKC. Only the first two letters, CP, have personal meaning to me. Really, it's still just CP, a bigger, even more distant CP. But first, let's back up. March 30th, 2023. CP train 929 is heading out of Bluff Yard near Plattsburgh, New York. I'm standing next to the foundation of the Cliff Haven station, demolished many decades ago. "929" is a train symbol that has only been used for little over a year. The pending CP-KCS merger has prompted both railroads to begin rearranging their symbols. CP uses train numbers, while KCS used a letter system similar to BNSF and UP. The change from letters to numbers isn't one I've went through, but I know that many of my fellow rail fans across the Midwest and South have experienced this as KCS becomes a part of CP operationally. It seems to me that for everything that doesn't change, there's always something that does. It's now April 4th, and I've just finished checking out a new rail fanning location by the lake in Plattsburgh. This is something I do frequently, locate a spot one day and return to shoot a train there sometime later. On this day, I'm heading to the Plattsburgh train station for the first southbound Amtrak Adirondack trip since 2020. The Adirondacks' return to the North Country isn't as much a change as it is just the resumption of normality. Following Amtrak 68 South is CP 928, daily CN traffic for Norfolk Southern. 928 typically leaves Rouse's Point before dawn, but this 12-hour setback has happened a few times since the beginning of April. Well guys, they're going into Bluff, and since that's the way home anyway, let's swing down there and catch them again. At South Junction Road, I watch planes circle above the Plattsburgh International Airport while I wait for both Amtrak 69 and CP 928. Today on North Country Plains, another day, more interesting railroading in Plattsburgh. I set up by the bike path to shoot Amtrak 69, 68, and CP 929. With the return of Amtrak comes the increased chances that freights will take the siding in Bluff, making it much easier for me to track them down. April 7th saw both southbound freights running later than usual. I arrived in Port Kent as 928 was entering the crossing, a BNSF unit leading the charge south. After 928, I moved up to the old Air Force Base dock area. This is a spot I had checked out earlier in the video, and now I had a morning southbound to shoot there. CP train 228 rolls south into Bluff Yard for a crew change with a heavy train in tow. Over the next couple weeks, I saw several trains, finally met Railfan Charles in person, CP and KCS merged, I traveled to Montreal to Railfan with Charles, CP wrecked a train in Maine, and the Amtrak Adirondack just kept running because, well, a daily passenger train runs daily. Enjoy this coaster fan style montage because these local shots simply aren't all that interesting to watch. It wasn't until April 29th that I got up before dawn, headed out to Plattsburgh, and realized for the first time that my hometown railroad was changing. CPKC train 228 runs south through Plattsburgh with a Kansas City Southern SD70 Mac trailing. This is the true beginning of the CPKC era on the D&H, and I've already caught more of these lash-ups since this video. There's the end. You know what that means? It's chase time, so let's go. I love nothing more than a horn echoing around the point across the lake in the early morning. What a beautiful sound. Since it's not every day I'm presented with a KCS Mac, I chased 228 to Rockland Siding, just south of milepost 150. Guys, I know the railroad that I grew up with and the railroad that a lot of you grew up with are not the same thing. But the railroad I grew up with and the railroad you're seeing today are also not the same. It's really weird. It's CPKC. You know, I grew up with CP, and you know, I call it the DNH, but it was CP and now it's CPKC, so it's just really weird. What did you guys think of this video? Do you want to see part 2? Let me know what you think in the comments, and remember, shoot the ordinary and mundane today, because it all could change tomorrow.